Well, viewers, first up now, Bengaluru has been dealing with a severe water crisis for the past few months now, with the acute water shortage really leading to citizens resorting to use of even private water tankers in multiple areas. Residents of a posh Bengaluru society have now decided to boycott elections. Well, they say they're not getting water, then why should the people who are coming to their area asking for votes get their attention? The citizens allege that they have been trying to get a Bangalore water supply and sewerage board water connection for the last 20 years, but there has been no avail. They further add that they have been helpless and have been at the mercy of unreliable private tankers paying hefty charges as the borewells have also dried up. Citizens have now decided that they'll boycott elections till their demands of a water supply line is met. Meanwhile, a huge war of words has also erupted between the Congress and the BJP. The BJP alleges that the development is halted ever since Congress came to power and that the current water shortage was a result of Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah releasing Cauvery water without consulting anyone. While both BJP and the Congress have appealed to citizens to not boycott the elections, the ruling party has claimed that they were working day and night to resolve the water crisis. Now, neither is the water shortage issue a new one, and neither is the ire of these citizens with the government a one-off. What's interesting here, viewers, is the fact that the mere threat of a boycott from one society has led to such furor. It remains to be seen if a civic issue such as water shortage will really take center stage in the upcoming elections, especially in the 4 constituencies in Bengaluru and probably in many other parts of rural Karnataka and, especially the dry areas as well. Now, we should note, but surely the might of the vote will be on display in the 2024 Lok Sabha polls. That is, of course, if the leaders pay attention to the demands of the citizens. I have a packed panel today. Madhu and Rao, BJP spokesperson, is joining us today. George, a Kurian political analyst, is also with us. Srinivas, civic activist, joins us as well on this broadcast. Before I take it across to my guests, my colleague Neha visited this society, spoke to the residents. Let's listen into their plight.
Well, you all knew about the water crisis in Bengaluru city, but it's now reached a point where several citizens of the city have threatened to boycott the election merely over the fact that basic water supply is not being given to them. Well, we're bringing you this ground report today from the Royal Lakeview Front area of Bengaluru. In fact, this is in JP Nagar 9th phase of the city, wherein we're of course going on to see that many citizens have come out over here today. They're staging a protest and they're demanding that something as basic as water be given to them. We're going to take this question straight across, speak to a few of them. Ma'am, I want to start by asking you, these are typically scenes that we see in villages where, you have a small group of residents who come out, who protest, who demand something as basic as roads. But in a fully developed city like Bengaluru, citizens not getting water. How bad is the situation really?
So first, thank you for hearing us out today. So you can see the layout if you can just go through it. We have roads, lights. So thanks to all the authorities who have been working with us. So this is not against any particular it's not a political agenda. We are doing it asking for our civic rights. See, basic drinking water is what we are asking. This layout has started 23 years back. Last 15 years, we are doing up and down in getting various types of, the way we can, we have got sanction letter. We are not denying that. But what after that? We need water. We need people, we are ready to pay the connection cost, which is the cost that everyone in and around the layouts have paid. What we are not ready to pay is the infrastructure cost. We are asking them not to give us put a big amount like 2+ crores on us as a matter of infrastructure cost, because we are paying tax. All of us here are mostly employed. There are doctors, there are engineers, they're all bankers, we're all employed people. We pay tax every year and we have bought the property tax, everything we have done. Every year we pay property tax, we have done everything. It's a BDA approved plot. So all we are asking is, we are ready to pay connection cost. Please get us faster. This is the time. Wait is over. Yeah. We've been waiting for 2 decades. It's not a small, amount of time that you can allow. Absolutely. It's almost 2+ decades. There are senior citizens who you will meet. They've been waiting for a very long time.
Okay.
They were us.
Okay.
And now what we are trying to tell you is we have our children going to vote this year, the next year. What they are seeing, what is the impression that they are getting? If we don't act now, it's not going to happen.
I want to ask you about the tankers. The government says that a lot is being done for the tankers. They say they've regulated it. They say that there's a price capped on the tankers. But on ground, the story is very different.
It is absolutely different, madam. When we started off, it was around 1,000 plus, and it has now gone up to 2,000 plus, 3,000 plus. And during the festival season, I think people have, coughed up to 4,000 plus. And it's on, there is a lot of competition. There is a scarcity. So it's a survival of the fittest, right? So whoever is able to get their hands on the tanker first, and even if you call the tanker, there is no guarantee that he is going to attend to you immediately, right? You might have to. There is a queue. Because I need water, my neighbor needs water. There are people down the road who need water as well. So there is a lot of competition for who gets the water through the tanker. And with scarcity everywhere around, right? I don't know where the tankers are also getting the water from. I mean, right? So it's really a grave situation, madam. I mean, we have been very patient. We have followed all the required processes. We even got a sanction letter. But now we are in a deadlock where this 2.5 crore is a burden on the residents.
Absolutely. Sir, I want to ask you as well, as senior citizens, if you could tell us, I'm sure you've been residents of this area for a very long time. How bad is the situation? Do you feel that now that the residents have decided to boycott the elections, you have both the parties, the prime parties here, BJP as well as Congress, they've both come forward. They have appealed to residents not to boycott the election. Is this going to have any impact at all, sir, on the residents?
See, it should have. That's what we believe in. See, we have been dragged to the ultimate extent. We can't just go further. We have put up with everything, and no political party we are going to trust. We, on our own, we want to see that the government authorities have got to do something. And the best way of doing it is, in an opportune moment, when we have boycotted, the election is ensuing now, it's in this month only. So we want to tell them the heat of it, let the people realize, the authorities.
Right.
We have been doing it. We won't just keep quiet like that. We definitely continue our effort to see that we are heard and our crisis has to be attended to.
Okay. Thank you, sir. One last voice from you before I wrap up. I have to ask you, sir, the residents have reached a point where you say you've been pushed to the brim to boycott the elections. Are you hopeful this is going to have any impact, sir? Because, residents not voting is a very unfortunate state of affairs that we hope at least political parties would now wake up to this. You say this is not a political protest. It's not against any party, sir. Are you hopeful that you'll find some resolution to this? Has anybody reached out? And also, how many residents of this entire area would be boycotting the elections, sir?
Yeah, so nobody has reached out, as we have told earlier also, that we have sent out the letters and all. See, the point is, as we told, we are law-abiding citizens. We have reached such a stage that the boycott is a last option, but we are forced to use that particular thing. Regarding this layout, Royal Lakefront Residency Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3 are there. We are representing Phase 1 and Phase 2, which have 420 plots which are there. Okay. So approximately around, if you look at it, around 1,500 to 2,000 people live here on that particular thing. And majority of us, we are very sure, given the pain we are taking, that most of us will boycott the elections.
Okay, all right, so thank you so much.
What sort of a desperate cry for help is this? We will boycott elections. At least now help us. It's been over a decade. Mr. Madhu and Rao, Mr. Kurian, is this not a cry for help? Is anybody listening? There are water tankers. There's a mafia. The Congress government said, well, we'll try to contain that. Then, of course, there have been reports of still, water tankers fleecing people. Now, this is a society for 20 years. They're saying they've been trying for water connections. Is this going to be a tutu meme versus the Congress and the BJP? Because both have been in power in this period. What is going to be done? This is not the only society. I'm sure in the outskirts of the city, there have been multiple areas like this. Mr. Rao.
Deepak, good evening. First of all, it's a very grave situation in Karnataka. And it's more graver situation in Bangalore for the fact there has been an acute water shortage for drinking purpose. Let's aside the irrigation purposes. Now, kindly bear with me for a minute. I do not want to politicize it, but on the other hand, I need to bring in the hard facts. What has happened during the last year? Just give me 1 minute. This government, Congress government, when it came into being, They have left 60.97 TMC of water between 12/6/2023 to 7/8/2023. 60.79 TMC excess water has been released to the so-called friend of Congress, that is the DM, in order to please DMK government. Now, they are on affidavit on record to say before the court that yes, the Tamil Nadu government has drawn excess water. My only question is, what were you doing when you left the water? You had to leave 32 TMC of water for 1.5 lakh acres of cultivation Kurian crop. You have left 60 TMC of water for 4 lakh acres. And now the government is crying, saying that I don't have water. What were you doing at that point of time? Was it not the necessity at that point of time for the irrigation minister? Forget irrigation purpose, water for drinking purpose. Deepak, is it not something which is beyond thought for this Congress government to have done it? I mean, now we are in such a situation. Bangalore is such a situation. The groundwater is depleting. Yes, there are other reasons for that, but substantial portion of water has been drawn from Cauvery water. Cauvery water, in fact, in the 2018 Supreme Court judgment, Supreme Court was very well aware of it, and therefore they allocated 4.75 TMC excess water to Karnataka. And of all, what did the government do during their guarantee schemes? They left hefty number of, so much of water to Tamil Nadu without even realizing what would be happening. We in BJP, we kept on telling, please don't do this. Stop the water. Go before the Supreme Court. Go before the CWMA. Stop the water. But at last, they give an affidavit saying that, yes, they have drawn more water. I mean, this is appalling. Where do we get the water now? I want to ask the Congress government, where please get us water for the residents of this great city. Why did you backstab the
Mr. Rao,
Bangalore
Mr.
city
Rao,
like this?
the situation of today, the people that I will be posing these questions to is the Congress government. The situation of the society is not just the Congress party here to blame. They are saying for the last 20 years they have been trying, knocking on every door, asking government representatives, going to the government offices, asking that the BWSSB should bring in a pipeline to their society. There are hundreds of senior citizens living there. Why hasn't it been done? It's easy to point at the Congress now because yes, there is a looming crisis at hand, but there is some sort of responsibility that the BJP as well should take.
Deepak,
You were in power previously.
Deepak, during our regime, please check the records. We are very straight on that. There was no such acute shortage of water problem at all. We are facing it now. Fair enough. For whatever reasons. My only question is, this would have not come because
the borewells have run dry. But that doesn't mean you will not allocate or you will not help out, people living in the outskirts of the city to ensure that the BWSSB work goes on well to supply pipeline to most of these people living in residential areas around the periphery of the city is important, and each and every government should have been working towards it. Now that the borewells are dry, yes, the issue has surfaced, but this issue does not stem from the borewell alone. It stems from the fact that you don't have a pipeline. Because the BWSSB has been assuring that there is enough water to supply to citizens. Now, when many of the citizens living on the periphery do not even have a pipeline, who does the BWSSB only supply to? It's only going to be in the center of the city.
Deepak, much of the pipelines were laid down during our regime. My only question is, why was it not carried on by the Congress government? Because the reason is simple. They have funds for other guarantee schemes, but for the development projects, it is very direct. Is anyone to research or do PhD about it? That is what we are telling. Why have you stopped the developmental activities? They have no answer for this. And they say, no, we are giving guarantees. Fair enough, you give guarantees. But where are the funds for the development project? This is the precise question we are asking the government today. And of all, we are in a situation where we do not have even water for this. What is the government doing is what even I want to ask. The precise question what you have been asking, we have been asking them. We had laid down the pipelines. Why did you not even continue with it?
Okay, Mr. Kurian, the BJP's charge here is that even as far as water pipeline and bringing it to people on the periphery of the city, work is not being carried out. There is no funds to do this. Your response, please.
Well, Deepak, it's really very unfortunate to rake up this issue as severe as water crisis on the eve of the election. We all know that Karnataka is going to head towards the general election in two phases, 26th of April and 7th of May. The Bharatiya Janata Party is very unfortunate that they've taken up this issue to corner the Congress Party, because the Congress Party is in the state of Karnataka is in power at this point in time. But as we all know and we are all aware that the very reason the Congress Party has come to power is because of the 40% Sarkara that existed earlier. We have taken cognizance of the entire thing, and I'm sure that as reported by your colleague here now, the residents in BDA approved plots in the periphery of Bangalore city. Definitely, the water pipeline, as severe as that civic issue, as severe as water, is the need of the hour, and I'm sure the Congress Party will take cognizance. It is up to the local administration to look into the matter, but we are sure that we will not leave any stone unturned to get this rectified. Having said that, I also want to counter Mr. Madhu that the Congress Party has been lenient and has released more water from Cauvery to Tamil Nadu. That's not true, because it's only after the court's intervention and the restriction amount of the water release that the Congress Party has done. So nothing out of way the Congress Party has gone to release water. We are equally concerned about the people of Karnataka and the state of Karnataka and its people. Yes, we agree that it's water is something and it's a natural calamity at this point in time. If I may call it, because we are short of rains in the state of Karnataka for last few years, and the groundwater level has also duplicated at the same point in time. So everyone has to come together to fight this, because people don't have to waste water, and the Congress Party has been strict on that issue, and they have been fining people on wastage of water for
Mr. Kurian, I completely get the point that right now there is a water crisis. Their borewells have run dry, but the root of the issue needs to be addressed. And we also have, of course, Srinivas with us, who's been working with citizens groups for quite some time, many years. In fact, I'll get in a perspective from him as well. But before that, I'm going to slip into a 30-second commercial break. Stay with us.